make Judaica for younger, hipper Jews, for the new Jewish generation. And I'm very glad to be here. I'm very excited to be teaching this. Okay, so...
What are your colors?
Oh, the colors. Let's see.
Mind, body, spirit.
Mind would be... Did I say why the colors? I just said that. Okay. Mine would be blue and like a clear blue sky, which is a good, nice, clear focus of mine. Body, yellow, because I feel a little bit nervous standing up here. I guess yellow for cowardly, but I'm not a coward. I'm brave. I'm just I try to say this to my daughter all the time too. It's okay to be scared. You just got to do it. And then soul.
Or spirit.
Spirit. I'd say pink. Happy. And pink's my daughter's favorite color.
Okay, and we are off with Jenny. You know you're recording? Okay. You'll be able to watch yourself after.
Oh, great. So we've all been taking a few minutes to think about these questions that are up on the screen. And so I'll open it up to you. Who would like to share what were the last things that you paid for? Dan?
Breakfast.
Breakfast, okay. And why did you pay for breakfast?
So I would be hungry.
Okay. And what happens as a result of you paying for your breakfast?
Much more cheer.
Oh, so you were satisfied with your breakfast. Okay. Anybody else want to share?
I had a similar but different experience with my breakfast.
Okay. That's good.
I was very, very excited to be in New York and get bagels. And so I came half an hour early into Manhattan just to go to Barney Greengrass and get a real, because they don't have these things in Baltimore, so to get like real good bagel lox and cream cheese. And I got up to the counter and was like flabbergasted at the price. And even though I ate half of it, I've been like resentful ever since.
Okay, so you paid for it. You did end up paying for it, but you felt resentful
I was
afterwards.
totally resentful.
Okay.
I still am.
Well, good. So any business venture, any business or nonprofit or any venture is going to have customers or members or stakeholders that wants to capture and get them to either spend their money or their time or other resource, and to some end result. They want to produce some sort of outcome. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. Oh, you know what? Okay. So today we're talking about ideation, the social business models, and what we're doing today, as what was different from last time, is that instead of envisioning and just talking about ideas, we're going to be taking the ideas and turning them into an actionable plan. So we've been dreaming. Now we're going to converge upon a plan, and we're going to begin to figure out together what is it that you want people to pay for, to volunteer for, to hand over their time and money for in your organization. And what is the reason, the why, that people are going to hand over, to pay for, to volunteer for, to give whatever is their resource to your organization. And then what do you want to be the outcome or the result, your vision, your promised land, for the people that you're targeting with your venture. Okay. So we're going to go back to the story of the Exodus. And Moses promised the Israelites milk and honey. Why? Why did he promise them milk and honey? Anybody want to share? Andrea?
Put on the spot. I mean, there was some resistance in going into the land.
Like luxury? Okay.
He wanted to help them visualize what the end would be. The interim was uncomfortable.
Okay. So he's promising them something that they wanted, food. But if we think carefully about the story of Moses and the promise of the milk and honey, what he's actually offering them is something even greater than food. He's offering them a business model. He's offering them a way to sustain themselves and create this food and to continue on providing what they want, the milk and the honey. So,
I also think, I mean, if the idea is about freedom or liberation or being God's people, like those are very fuzzy ideas, right? And I don't know, it's hard to get someone across the street for fuzzy ideas, but you know, milk and honey, okay, that's something tangible, that's something that we seize on. I mean, so it's sort of an interim, it's a bait and switch kind of thing.
It's something that they value and concrete and they can
Right.
visualize, right? And maybe they didn't even see it as a business model, but as we know, we value not just giving people in charity, but teaching them how to fish, not just giving the fish, but teaching how to fish in Judaism, and this is along those lines. Yes?
I was going to say it's almost like a mantra.
Mhm.
So during this difficult journey, it's like milk and honey, where are we going? You know, like, oh, this is so tough, but milk and honey, like,
Yeah,
you know, something.
that's good. Something concrete to
Yeah.
get their head around. Okay. So, what is a social business model? A business model is a description of the ways a business carries out activities to create, deliver, and provide value to those directly and indirectly involved. That's the formal definition. What's most important in this definition? What do you think? Billy?
What is most important?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty boring definition, but like, if we had to take the nugget out, like what would it be?
The value that's created.
The value that's created, right? We're providing value to customers, consumers, stakeholders. And the difference between a business model and a social enterprise model or a social business model is, what do you think the difference is? What would you say the difference is?
So we've been talking about a double bottom line.
Okay.
That a for-profit venture has a bottom line, which is money, and a social business model
As another bottom
values
line.
money, but also values social, like, you know, some benefit to society.
Right. So a social business wants to change the world for the better most of the time, right? So do you guys know, can you think of some social businesses, some social enterprises?
Tom's shoes.
Say that?
Tom's shoes.
Tom's Shoes. I'm not aware of Tom's Shoes.
Tom's shoes, for every pair of shoes that you buy, a certain amount of the proceeds goes to a community in need, and they'll actually donate. They'll match the shoes, and they will donate a pair of shoes to a child or person in need of
Oh, okay.
shoes.
One left
Great.
out per
And
child.
that's
Like one left per child, but for shoes.
And Shelby, is that Tom's Shoes, is that for profit? Yes. Okay, good. Any other organizations that you?
Modern Tribe.
Modern Tribe. How do you see Modern Tribe as I was going to use Modern Tribe as an example, but.
It's a for-profit business, but when you explained it, you said it's aimed at providing the Judaica that a kind of new generation of Jews wants to consume,
Mhm.
which ultimately will have social payoff for the Jewish community by
Right,
exciting
that's
a new
my
generation.
outcome actually, is to, so that Jews have Judaica that helps them identify and express their Jewish identity. But, right, well I would consider Modern Tribe a social business model. I think that we've made the point that social enterprise does not have to be nonprofit. For-profit organizations can be social enterprises. The difference is that and like other organizations, for-profits change the world. I mean, just like think about Apple, who changed like the way we compute, and think about Home Depot that created the do-it-yourself movement. I don't know if you guys remember, but that didn't exist before Home Depot. So there are for-profit organizations that change the world. But I would say that a social enterprise, to be formally a social enterprise, you formally have on your bottom line a social impact. So you have both the profit of money for a business like Home Depot, but for them to be officially a social enterprise, they'd also have on their bottom line the social change. And that would have to be supported by the stakeholders and the all the stakeholders, like the investors. So, business model of milk and honey. Okay. So by raising cows and keeping bees, a farmer creates value by producing milk and honey, distributes that milk and honey in containers, and delivers the milk and honey to customers who purchase the milk and honey